District North Posey. Are we not live yet? We are live? Okay. And our Posey, our regular meeting, and we'll open it by joining me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amy, do we have anybody? We have a couple items to address that aren't on the agenda. First and foremost, I would like for you guys to join me in a moment of silence in a second to honor a former teacher at North Posey, Miss Smith. She taught at North Posey for 44 years in the English department. Affected, I can't imagine how many students she touched in those 44 years as a percentage of our graduating class in totality. She passed away on December 28th. She was our first tennis coach at North Posey. Little known fact about her, she was a very accomplished tennis player in her own right, and played in several high-level tournaments. She was a speech teacher, speech and debate coach, and was a member of the Indiana Forensic Hall of Fame, which is basically speech and debate. So I would like for all of you to join me in a brief moment of silence in her honor. Thank you. I would also like to take this time and recognize an outstanding accomplishment of one of our athletic teams. Our high school wrestling team over Christmas break went up and competed in the Indiana High School Wrestling Coaches Association Team State Duels and competed in the Class 1A portion of that tournament. They performed outstanding and finished 4-0 in that tournament. They won their division, the Class 1A state team duels. We had, I believe, 6 undefeated wrestlers during that tournament. Wyatt Willman, who's a sophomore, had the fastest pin in that tournament, I believe, and as a result of that, and another tournament was voted an athlete of the week for the Courier and the Press. And his older brother, Nate, won the modern day duels, I believe, in which I think that's the second year in a row for Nate winning that, which is the first time we've ever had a wrestler win that 2 years in a row. So the wrestling team had an outstanding Christmas break and are on pace to have a lot of momentum through the season and carrying forward. So a big kudos and shout out to them. All right, next item on our agenda is our patrons' concern. We do not have anybody signed up for patrons' concern, so we'll let the minutes reflect that accordingly. Next item is the minutes, claim docket and consent items that were previously presented to you. The minutes regarding the December 9th meeting and claim docket from December 9th to January 13th, as well as other items within that. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve consent items as listed.
I'll second that.
So the motion by Mrs. Will and seconded by Mr. Stock to approve the consent agenda. Any other comments or questions? Is the property and casualty included in that, or are we doing that separate?
It's included in that, and property and casualty is everybody took a hit this year. This is a very good price. It did go up. I think you have the comparison. And I asked why did it go up since we didn't have any claims, and because of everybody in the whole nation has taken a hit because of all the floods, hurricanes, and wildfires. And so they did shop with S-Craft. They do shop that around multiple vendors, and there's 2 portions of that. You get hit if you have claims, which we didn't, so we were protected there. And then everybody got the standard increase, and it's one of the better prices that you could get.
Okay. So we have a motion second. Any other comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The motion carries 5-0. New business, Dr. King.
George Link is not coming tonight. I had that listed on the agenda. He will be here in February. At this time, I'm going to turn the school board meeting over to the acting school board attorney, Bill Bender, and he will lead the reorganization of the election of officers.
Looking to the top of page 3, there has been an alternative of either electing individual positions or to do it in one, or to reappoint in one motion. Top of page 4, we of course have our current officers. Jeff Gentile, President. Gregory Schmidt, Vice President. Amy Will, Secretary. Carol Lupfer, Corporation Treasurer. And Jamie Bender, Deputy Treasurer. Bill Bender, School Board Attorney. Jeff Gentile as the President of the Board of Finance. And Brett Stock as the Treasurer of the Board of Finance. Amy Will as the Policy Liaison. And Vince Oakley as the Legislative Liaison. So if it's the desire of the board, you can reappoint and reelect those positions.
I'll make a motion that we keep the officers from 2019 and the same as 2020 as listed.
Can I request that we pull one separate?
Oh, we can do whatever
Do
we
that.
want.
I'd like to do the attorney separate.
So you have to have in your motion
I'll,
if you want to. I'm just saying we have to have that motion accordingly.
I'm gonna keep my motion.
I'll second that.
Greg's motion.
Any further comments or questions?
Yeah, I do then if we're gonna, so this is all together.
Mhm.
I sent out an email to you guys last week. I'm not sure if anybody got it. I didn't get a response. So I typed up another one, but not knowing if anyone received the first one, I didn't send it. I just brought it with me tonight. And I'll read it into the minutes, I guess. I can give everybody a copy. Having received no response to my email to all board members last Monday, I wanted to write my thoughts down. I have concerns with the current school board attorney situation. In reading the statutes for permissible executive session discussion items, I'm not comfortable it would be legal to discuss this in executive session. I know we were informed last fall that there are no legal conflicts in the marriage of Assistant Superintendent Angela Bender and School Board Attorney Bill Bender. We all agreed at that time we would discuss this matter later down the road. I know I was not the only board member who brought up concerns with the situation. I would imagine this is a unique situation and probably one without Indiana legal precedent. If at all possible, I would like to avoid having precedent set here. There's no doubt Mr. Bender has provided admirable service for the MSD of North Posey for many years. He has served numerous school boards under several different superintendents, and I am in no way questioning the service he has provided for all these years. What I am uncomfortable with is the potential for perceived or actual conflict of interest this service could provide in the future. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but the school board attorney serves the board. And in probably 90% plus of situations, the board and the administration are on the same side of an issue. Even with my voting record, I believe this to be true. It is in situations where the board and administration may be on opposite sides, we could have a real issue in the future. For instance, if Dr. Bender found herself in a disciplinary type situation, could Mr. Bender fairly represent the board? Even if the disciplinary situation would be with Dr. Camp, having Mr. Bender represent the board against his wife's superior is a really interesting situation. And yes, I realize Mr. Bender could recuse himself in these situations and the board could find another attorney. This is also what we have the opportunity to do now. When I came on the board, I was made aware that my wife would have to step down from all district level committees on which she was serving because of perceived conflict. I was also told when Joe Neidig served on the board, his wife stepped down from all of her district level committees because of perceived conflict. Obviously, the school corporation has taken perceived conflict very seriously in the past and sought to avoid it. Could anyone please explain to me why this situation is different? We have an opportunity to have another highly respected attorney who is also a North Posey alum serve our board without perceived conflict. I know several years ago, we had another attorney put in a proposal for legal services with this very board. Much like right now, we had a choice of two highly respected local attorneys wishing to do work for our board. With all things being fair, it made sense to go with the attorney who provided services for the better hourly rate. In my opinion, the marriage of Bill and Dr. Bender makes this year's choice much different. In the previous situation, I made the recommendation to retain Bill Bender as school board attorney. All things are not fair now when comparing applicants for attorney. Cost has never been the first concern for this board when we believe what we are doing is in the best interest of North Posey. We don't have the cheapest superintendent. We don't have the cheapest football field or track. We don't have the cheapest tax rate. Let's do what is best here and avoid any possible or perceived conflicts in the position of our school board attorney.
Okay, were there any further comments?
We did have another applicant, correct?
Yeah, and I have it here too. And I'll say as the superintendent of the school district, I do not want to work with another school board attorney. I believe we can call for a vote now.
Okay, well, we'll call for a vote. We'll simply go down. Jeff Gentile,
I vote in favor.
Greg Schmidt,
In favor?
Amy Will,
In favor.
Brett Stott, in favor. Vince Oakley.
Opposed.
Motion carries 4-1. Now, looking at the agenda, it goes to the bottom of page 4. And we turn the meeting back over to newly elected president, Jeff James.
All right, thank you for that. So we do need to examine the compensation wages for the board. Dr. Camp is taking care of this for us in the past and currently. I just simply wanted to pull this out. I would like to, I think in the past we've kept this at the same compensation level. We haven't asked for an increase to our compensation. There is an opportunity for us to include an additional compensation for or an extra stipend for special meetings outside of our regular stated meetings, which we have historically chosen not to include. And my recommendation is that we keep it that way. So I would like to entertain a motion that we retain our compensation level as is and has been previous to previous years. And that is, do we have that on there?
Yeah.
2,000.
We're asking the board to vote on its compensation package, $2,000 annually and $100 per meeting for 12 meetings for $3,200 for the calendar year.
Okay.
So entertain a motion to approve the compensation package for the board.
I'll make a motion that we approve the compensation packages listed.
Second.
I second that.
So a motion by Mr. Schmidt and seconded by Mr. Stock to approve the compensation wages. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The motion carries 5-0.
At this time, I have passed out the conflict of interest statements. Ask the board members that have that, to please sign that and return it back to me so I can have those filed appropriately.
Does it matter what black or blue on the ink on that? Okay.
And Vince, we have my contract here. I need to get your signature there so that we can post that on the website. On that back page. At this time, I'd like to ask the board to approve the professional leave and request as listed in the spreadsheet. We have several people going to several different things, and I asked the board to approve those requests.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve professional leave request.
Second.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Mr. Stock and seconded by Mrs. Will to approve the professional leave request as presented by Dr. Camp. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. The motion carries 5-0.
Under reports, I have the 2020 planning projects. I have a spreadsheet. It is in your Google Drive and it is on the board. You can see Danny Ellis and I have been working with the domestic water at the junior high. We've been putting that off for year after year after year. We did this same thing to North Elementary a few years back because of the galvanized piping. We keep springing leaks. This is an all-inclusive price. There probably between now and the summer is going to be a material charge increase, and that could go up about $20,000 to $25,000. This replaces every bit of the lines in the junior high, except for the runs that go down into the block, like where they would go down into the water fountain. This also includes the chases. There's a 22-inch wide chase that we will run new pipe down, and a man will have to go down into that chase and actually solder that pipe together, the 22-inch line. There is one piece it does not include. Right now, the galvanized pipe goes under the gym floor. He's going to get me a price to take it over top of the gym floor so we can eliminate that as well. This also includes in the high school and the shop area, Dave Kaler's area, and the to replace that galvanized pipe has sprung 4 leaks alone this year. So we have that. The green items in the price list are things that we probably need to take a look at, but I do not have a price for those and don't know if we even have enough money to do them. The $150,000 for the asphalt and the drainage around the tennis courts from all the construction we're doing, that's probably a high figure. I just threw a figure in there. It's probably much less. I hope to have a better figure for you in February when I ask you to approve this. So there's several other things in there. High school cafeteria remodeling and making air conditioner at North Elementary for the kitchen. Changing out LED lights on the outside of the high school, junior high building. That $26,000 there on number 11 is just the junior high. I am going to get another quote there. because I would like to do the entire building. And then the van would be, if we got a van, we would trade the two vans, the white van and the old red van. We probably wouldn't need that much money, but that would be paid for out of rainy day. Cafeteria tables for South Terrace. That figure might be a tad high. And then I put $50,000 in for general maintenance things that we need to repair over the summer for just general maintenance. And then if you look in technology, $30,000 for Chromebooks, $35,000 for Project Lead the Way computers at the high school, webcams at $6,000, and we are purchasing drones for each of the buildings. That came out of the donated funds. And then we probably need to look at some auditorium renovations for the technology. And we're looking at VR goggles. They're $10,000 a set, but we're going to go back to the STEM committees and make sure they really want them before we commit to buying them, since they're so expensive. Some other things that which means we've given $59,000 of the donated money to the STEM project and $47,000 to athletics. We have $70,000 on top of this for materials and supplies for our classrooms. We also are looking at, we purchased buses out of the operations fund, $237,000. We're looking at some more STEM money. $20,000 are getting ready to spend in STEM. And also one of the things that we're looking at is putting TVs in all of the cafeterias in the foyer and maybe even the gymnasium for advertisement and for our Sling studio. So we're looking at all those things this summer. I will have this finalized. Its document is in your file and you can look at it, and I'll be updating it through the next month to get it ready for you to ask for approval. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me and I'll go over anything that you want to go over. And Angie's got a STEM report.
Yes, right before Christmas break, I received an email that we were awarded the STEM Acceleration Grant, and that's a $50,000 grant. So with the Digital Learning Grant and the STEM Acceleration Grant, that gives us $100,000 specifically for our professional development for the teachers, curriculum, and marketing. So it was a good piece of news there. It was a little bit different as far as I got another subsequent email from the DOE regarding the budget and the $50,000, but it really wasn't in the form of an award letter. Normally I would put the award letter in your board packet. That's why I went ahead in your Google Drive. I posted just a list of schools. They did a press release and I had a list of all the school districts that received the STEM Acceleration Grant. And we're in cohort 3. It's third year of this grant. So that's good news. We're excited about the extending the STEM curriculum. That was another basis of the grant, and it affects every building too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's all the items we have for tonight. The next regular meeting will be Monday, February the 10th, which is my birthday.
49, right?
Yeah. And right now we're planning on having that at the high school. I will set the location when we do the advertisement. We'll either do it in the cafeteria or the library like we've done in the past. And then we will, Sean Fisher is going to give us a report. We're also going to have some more guests there, and we'll do a quick tour of the renovations that have been completed there. Regular executive session will begin at 5:30, which will be the tour, and then a regular meeting will be at 6:30.
Keeping in our new process here of good news and some updates from the different schools. South Terrace in December, their PTO was pretty active. They put together a queer the list program for their teachers, which was really neat to see and publish that. Help some of the teachers get some items they were off their wish list. Looks like, bear with me, I'm kind of bouncing back between newsletters here. I know they had a winter program, and the 5th grade had a STEM project they were working on. Looks like a parachute project. So good stuff there. And then at North Elementary, they had, says, percentage of students identified as at or above grade level. It increased from 23 to 43% in math, and it also increased in reading from 27 to 52. So both of those almost doubled. That's great news. They had teacher accomplishments. Christina Griffin completed the Project Lead the Way lead teacher training. And the school as a whole collected gifts and food for 55 families for Christmas. We wanted a shout out to the Student Council at North Elementary for organizing their holiday sing-along Minute to Win It activity. All the businesses in the community that donated the Christmas gifts for the students in need. Pearson's, again, they've done several years in a row, donated boxes of food for Christmas families. The Kiwanis donated fruit, Hershey's, bread and hams. Our town officer, Carter, organized a toy drive, and PTO provided a luncheon and a coverage of staff so that the staff could enjoy the luncheon as well. And then the North Elementary Student Council volunteered and helped out at the community table at the Methodist Church in Poseyville just prior to Christmas. And then in the junior high, Pow to Pow Organization Club was formed with Mrs. Knet, is that right? Students and other students who helped decorate for the school holidays. They had their snowball winter dance on December 8th. The German classes sang Christmas carols at the elementary school in South Terrace. Mallory Moats was selected as Lilly Scholarship alternate for 2019 to 2020. Congratulations to her. The boys basketball team, both the JV and varsity, beat the county rival Mount Vernon. Wrestling defeated Boonville, or placed second in Boonville in a 5-way meet of Mater Dei. They won the PAC, the wrestling team won the PAC team championship at Tell City. The high school basketball team won their Holiday Classic tournament this year, held at the high school. And I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but Major League pitcher Jared Eichhoff, who's from the area, came out and spoke to our high school team and at one of their preseason workout sessions. So that was, I'm sure, pretty exciting for those guys getting to see that. And then the junior high, last but not least, we had 8th grade students attended the reality store at Mount Vernon. Each student chose a profession based on their grade point average, which also included a salary. A Christmas band held their Christmas program on the December 10th, along with the Christmas choir. Following week, they had an annual decorating contest throughout the school that the kids really enjoyed, and Mrs. Bouchard's homeroom class won that. They had a Christmas luau dance sponsored by the student council. Maggie McCutcheon was chosen the January Student of the Month. She was nominated for always being positive with a smile on her face and goes above and beyond to help others. Our 7th grade girls basketball team won the Mount Vernon Invitational. And the 8th grade girls basketball team came in second at the Mount Vernon Invitational. Mr. Barrett is, as a lot of you are hearing, is organizing this large trip to Washington, D.C. for next year's spring break. They currently have 92 kids signed up for that trip, and I think that number has gone up over 100,000. And then I think that's it. Anybody else have anything for the good of the cause? I will say, I think it's February the 11th is the legislative day at the State House for the ISBA. I'm on my last year on that legislative committee. They want one person from school. If you want to go up for that, let me know. I don't think we both can go up, but if you want to go up, I'll be glad to let you go. It doesn't matter.
That's fine.
It's going to be the day after our regular board meeting, so I think it starts at 9 o'clock, which is 8 o'clock our time. But probably just let me know by the end of the week so we can get that organized with them and let them know who that's going to be. I feel like I had something else, but I can't remember what it is. Well, all right. Nobody has anything else for the good of the order. We'll entertain a motion to close for our adjournment.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second.
So we have a motion by Mr. Schmidt, seconded by Mrs. Will to adjourn. We are so adjourned. Go Tigers for the national championship, right?